Hey guys, RR Expert here. I'm gonna try to look for a entry by using the opening of the 4-hour candle. This is what I'm doing every day on this channel, showing you the opening of the 4-hour, and we're going to observe and look if we're going to see a strong move up or down, and we're going to enter in that same direction. I haven't done any analysis on the higher time frames, but I'm going to show you don't really need to do that. It's just you anticipate this candle opening and then you wait for a move to the upside or downside. Again, I have this indicator on here just to show you that it's all irrelevant. So I'm seeing a move down now, and I'm gonna wait and see if it comes back up here to go for a short. So let's wait a bit. And you don't want this, you don't want the price to just immediately go down. You want to, give some room first. So I'm gonna enter here. Don't mind the amount, that's not what we're doing here. Let me put the stop loss here. This is not what we are doing. We're not looking at the amount, it's irrelevant. It's about the model that we're doing here. Let me see, 483. So like I said, I didn't like the fact that it moved down so quickly, but I'm confident it's going to go down here. But you want to avoid these kinds of stop losses, these big stop losses. And there's no point in putting the stop loss here, because if you're going to do that, just don't enter, because you need some space. And normally you would put it above here, but again, I don't want the stop loss to be that big. I'm gonna take some profit when it comes here, I think, because I don't like the entry, but I'm confident it's gonna go a bit lower than this. But I think this, for educational purposes, this is good to know, why these kinds of stop losses, they're not good. The only reason it's doing this is because there is resistance here, I don't believe the likes of ICT, who says there is no such thing as resistance and supply and demand. I don't care for the labels, but if you guys want to know how to trade, we have to give some labels, but there is resistance here. That's the reason why it's doing this, whether it goes up or down. So maybe now look for a long here, because it's showing it doesn't want to go here. But let's see if it makes like an impulsive move to the upside, like we saw here. So we're waiting for confirmation. So even if we're saying I don't think it's going to come here, there needs to be an impulse to the upside. Yeah. Okay, it keeps going. Again, no problem. We did not enter. We did not lose anything. Sometimes we're wrong, but we're not entering. This is like a perfect example here. What you see all these wicks here, till here. So ignore this, but you see these wicks. It's like the bodies, they don't want, they're not closing below it, only the wicks. So these are all indications of they're indications for you, or an extra confidence for you to understand whether the price wants to go up again or down again. And because we're day traders, we don't care for the price to come here. We just want to do a scalp, you know, with a good stop loss. So, for example, if you would enter here for long, these are very big moves because you have a very tight stop loss. These are just some tips, you know. I can learn you a lot more if you're interested. It's all about looking at the charts. You know, we're not focused on patterns. Oh, what am I seeing here? Oh, you know, like ICT 2022 model, all this nonsense, or 2022. I don't know, even know. You know, so these things, they make people crazy. You know, and then they argue with themselves. Oh, what's the time? Am I now in buy side or sell side? Oh, am I now in a fair value gap? You know, this is all garbage. Trust me, you're wasting your time, man. I have so many ICT students, and they're all flocking to people like me, you know. And these are people who are eager, you know, in when it comes to learning how to trade. But they're being manipulated in all these garbage, you know, and this concepts. I feel really bad for you guys, but again, I'm making these videos and proving to you guys that the ICT, it's a waste of time. And I think a lot of people can relate. I have many people who contact me, you know, they've been doing ICT 2 years, 3 years, and they're still not profitable. You know, that you have to like ask yourself, how is that even possible? You know, you're like learning ICT for 2 years and you still don't understand it. And the straightforward answer is because it's garbage. So although we made money, we are also a bit unlucky, you know, because we could have just let the trade run. So even though our stop loss was big, we could have stayed in the trade. But you know, in hindsight, it's always easy, yeah? But it's to prove to you that what I'm doing is 10,000 times better than what ICT is teaching you. And my concept is very simple again. Eh? Every time, every day, I'm gonna try to do my best to upload a video every day. I'm not wasting my time on analysis, looking at candles, you know, and doing all this stuff. It's like 5 minutes before the 4-hour candle opens, I'm sitting behind my computer and I'm looking for a setup. That's the only thing I'm doing. I'm not saying it's easier, guys, especially if you don't have any experience. You're not gonna learn this in like a month or 2 months, you know. It's like you have to like understand the chart, you have to like understand some fundamentals. But if you have been in the trading space for very long and you understand, you know, some of these concepts, you can learn this very, very fast. This is what we then eventually teach our students, you know, or those who are interested, aiming for these kinds of moves. And because they happen. Also good to notice that equities haven't opened yet, you know. So it's not 9:30 New York time yet. And you can do this every hour, but again, I advise against this. When you get better, you're going to look on the 50-minute charts, the 1-hour charts. But as a beginner, the 4-hour candles, they're really good. You know, look at these moves. You see how big these candles are? And look, so we entered around here. So it opens and the price goes up. Forget about these words about manipulation and these things. It's irrelevant. Don't make yourself crazy. Just understand, okay, the price opened, went up, and then went down. And sometimes it opens and goes up and keeps going up, but that's irrelevant. And you don't need to justify why it goes up. The price goes up, the price goes down, and you want to be in a move. None of this nonsense. Judas swing or manipulation. I heard all these terms from you guys. I could have gone long here, but all of these these labels, forget about these. Trust me, forget about all this nonsense. Just focus on candles and try to work with what you're seeing instead of making yourself crazy with buy side, sell side, Asia, NDOGs, NWOGs, gaps, volume imbalances. These are all labels just to drive you crazy, and so that these teachers can manipulate you and justify their teachings. They're saying, yeah, but you're doing it wrong because you did not enter here or there, you know. It's all garbage. And I'm going to keep repeating this because I want to save some of you souls. So here we could have entered, but I was talking. I'm also never ever am I thinking, oh, are we now long or short? I don't care. Day traders should not care about bias. You should not care about where the price is going. You just look at the charts. That's what you're doing, and you try to do a scalp. And I always keep repeating this. In the beginning, you're going to build up confidence by trading one-on-one trades. Sorry for my long lecture or talking, but I want to emphasize why it's important that you have to have your psychology in order, you know. Let me see what NASDAQ is doing. So this is like a perfect example. Yesterday I had a ICT student and he asked me, but how do you know where to enter? But if you look, so we are seeing a move up and then we see this gap. And so you might say, okay, according to ICT, you could enter here. But on the lower time frames, we're seeing three gaps, one here, and one here. When I said we could have entered here, I'm not looking at the gap. Because why would the price, you know, come here for you or here for you? It doesn't work like that. Because we're seeing a gap here. Also, the price is going to come here and then go up. This is nonsense. Yeah, it's way better to understand where you might think that the price is going to go up. Because when I said we should have entered here, let me prove to you. We should have entered here. So on the third candle there, so this candle here, and you put your stop loss always below the first low. Look, we are already at 1 to 7 risk to reward. You see this? So, and in this case, so for example, his model works. In this case, it works, you know. Sometimes it works, you know. That's why people believe in this model. But if you enter here, according to ICT, you have to put your stop loss all the way here. You see how much you have to make just to make one-on-one? See? So it has a lot of downsides, you know, and we don't even know if the price is going to come here, you know. And that's why I'm emphasizing when I'm teaching, you want to be in these kinds of moves, you know. Look, because if the price comes here, and because in comparison to ICT's model, let me put this here, yeah. You would only be making, if the price comes here, right? If only one, and this is a lot of risk. You want this, but here you could argue, look how much this is, but we're not doing that. We're not greedy. You might aim for here, maybe, you know, 3 or maybe 4, I don't know. And you also don't need to do this analysis, you know. You know, when you go to ICT's channel, he's giving these long lectures about where the price is going and why the price is going there. And by the way, he has been wrong a lots of times. But you don't need that. You really don't need. You don't need to look at the monthly, weekly, daily. This is all nonsense. It's really nonsense, because moves They don't happen in those fashion. Sometimes, you know, with NFP, non-farm payroll, sometimes the price goes crazy. Sometimes, you know, but you could have a hard rule. You could say, nah, I'm not gonna trade those days. No. Let me see what the price is doing here. See, so the price might go short here now, but I'm not seeing anything on the higher time frames that would be of some kind of resistance here, so I'm not going to enter here for a short. And this is, by the way, what a lot of people want to learn. Most people that DM me, they want to learn how to scalp. You know, they are not interested in these big moves. And so we did one here. We could have done one here. Let's see, this is 9 a.m. So in a time span of maybe 15 minutes, you could have done 2 good trades. Yeah. And here, like I said, we could have gone short, but I'm not going to enter because I'm not seeing any confluences on the higher time frames. Also would be a very big stop loss here. I don't like that. Let me see. Yeah. Maybe. If you have big stop losses, by the way, you can like half your position. But you know, psychology is important, you know, because let's say the price is doing this, from this point going, so from this doing this, and then going a bit down, and then going up. But you were waiting for the price to come here, maybe, and then you're going to say, shit, I should have entered. And this is where a lot of people make mistakes, you know. If the price goes without you, don't worry. Trust me, an hour later, you can find another setup. But again, I'm emphasizing this. I advise trading the 4-hour candle, because the 4-hour candle, look, you want to be in these moves, and they happen many times a day. For example, if you live in Europe and you want to trade before you go to work, I would not do that, but if you want to do a trade, you could trade around the 2-hour, I think. Let me see on futures. Yeah, the 2-hour candle. These are just ideas. You guys can do what makes you feel good. Okay, guys, I'm gonna leave for now, and I'll be back in a few minutes. I think in a half hour. I'm gonna try to look for another trade, and then I'm done. Hey guys, so I came back just to do a small recap. You know, when we said we could have entered here, you can see where the price is going. So even if you did a one-on-one trade, easy one-on-one trade, easy. And if you would let it run, and you would then put your stop loss here, maybe you would have get stopped out, maybe. But you know, when you're not losing money, it doesn't matter if you get stopped out. But see, so we did a move from here, and then we said we could have entered here. So the hour is almost going to close, and we're going to look for a setup. So in like 1 minute and 40 seconds. You can see here around or at 9:30, you don't want to be in the trade. Yeah, this is the only time I advise, and when there is news events, and there are people who swear they can trade in news events, but the spread and the liquidity, it's gonna be weird, man. Even if you make money, this is no joke. Even if the price comes to your profit, you could still be in loss because of spread and commissions and I don't know what. So don't do it. Don't believe any of those gurus who tell you otherwise. Let's go to gold. Let's see if we can find a setup again. And we're gonna do the exact same thing. You know, we'll wait for the hour candle to close and then open again. Let me see here. But I like to focus on the 4 hour. That's my my core focus, because I want to see what's going on here. Okay. So again, I'm just observing the movement of this candle here. Yeah, so the 4 hour candle. And I'm gonna wait for like these explosive moves, you know? So when this happens, I'm gonna enter. Yeah. So on the third candle, I could enter, but I'm not gonna do this because, like I said previously, this is too big. The stop loss is going to be too big. Yeah. And I don't want my stop loss to be here or here or here, because sometimes the price comes all the way here and then goes down. But this is too big, so we're not going to enter here. And look how much you have to... The price has to do all of this just to make one-on-one. That's not what we do here. Again, I want to emphasize, you see this here? So this area here, from this part to this part, you see these candles? Yeah, this is resistance. Don't believe ICT and those fake ICT gurus. This is resistance, so it can... you see, it's doing this. You see this? It's struggling to make a strong move down or up. This is the 15-second charts, by the way. So when you see this, and so for example, if you're confident the price is going to go down, when the price does this, don't worry, because it has to break through all of this. And I'm using these words like breaking through here, but that's not really happening. But we have to create, you know, language so that we can understand each other. So this is resistance. Don't argue with these people. Just ignore those people. You know? So let's see. Okay, let's go long here. Just on this third candle, and let's see if we can do a one-on-one. Yeah, see, easy guys. This is how easy it is, man. Okay, I'm doing this for 20 years, so maybe for me it's easy, but I just want to prove to you. And so now I'm done, you know. I'm not gonna hang around the computer again, and maybe I'm gonna see something else. You're done. We did 2 trades. We could have done 3 trades, but we did 2 trades, and then you're gonna do something else, you know, because maybe the price is gonna go down now, or the price, you don't know that. Yeah. Anyway, guys, have a good day and a good weekend. Hopefully to see you Monday. Bye bye.